All right, let's get right into it. Have you ever thought about an API call as a conversation? Or maybe even a crime scene? Well, today, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're opening up a brand new case file with the best investigator in the business, Detective Postman, to solve a real head-scratcher, a mystery of failing requests.
So, here's the situation. The call comes in, it's urgent, it's confusing. A super high-security API, they're calling it the Vault, is just rejecting everything. No one can get in. And it's our job to figure out why. See, this isn't just some random bug. It's a puzzle. And every single one of those failed requests, that's a clue.
Now, to crack any case, you gotta understand the fundamentals. And every API request, you can think of it like old school mail. It's got two main parts. First, you've got the envelope. In our world, we call that the headers. This basically tells the server how to handle the message. Then, of course, you've got the letter itself, the body. That's what actually has the message you're trying to send. Simple, right? Our culprit is hiding in one of these two places.
So, where do we start? Well, any good detective knows you start with the outside. Before we even think about tearing open that letter, we got to inspect the envelope. These headers, they contain all the metadata. The vital context that can make or break a request before the server even bothers to look at the message inside.
And look at that, our first clue. It's the content type header. The easiest way to think about this is like the detective asking a simple question. What language is this letter written in? I mean, it makes sense, right? If you send a message in French to someone who only speaks Japanese, they're not going to have a clue what you're saying. It is the exact same principle here. You see, the API server has to know exactly what kind of data it's getting. Is it application/JSON? That's pretty much the modern standard for APIs, with its neat structured data. Or maybe it's something a little older, but still out there, like application/XML. Getting this one little detail right is the absolute first step to having a successful conversation with the server.
Okay, next up on our checklist, identification, the authorization header. This one answers a pretty important question. Who sent this? And do they even have permission to be here? I mean, you can't just waltz into a secure vault, right? You've got to show your badge. And this header, that is the badge.
And this badge, it can come in a few different forms. A bearer token, for example, that's kind of like a temporary access key. Then there's basic auth, which is just a simple username and password, or maybe an API key, which is a unique secret code the service gives you. The bottom line is, without the right credentials in that authorization header, the server's bouncer is going to turn you away every single time. So, this brings us to a really key point. You got to remember this. Headers are all about context. They don't have the secret plans, they don't have the bank transfer details. Nope. They just tell the server who the message is from, what format it's in, and how to deal with it. They're just setting the stage for the main event. Okay, so we've given the envelope a thorough inspection. Now, it's time to open it up. Let's analyze the letter itself, the body of the request. This is where the good stuff is, the actual data, the payload. Now, the message inside, it can be written in a couple of different ways. For structured data, JSON is pretty much king. It's just so clean and easy for machines to read. But sometimes, you're just sending data like you're filling out a web form, using something called form data. That's just simple key-value pairs. The crucial thing is, whatever format you use for the body, it has to match what the API is expecting to get. All right, let's recap. We've examined the envelope. We've analyzed the letter. Detective Postman has all the clues spread out on his desk. The failed requests, the server logs, the API docs. And you know what? It's all pointing to one simple, overlooked detail. The moment of truth is here.
So, think about this for a second. We have a sender. They probably have the right credentials. And the message, it's probably formatted perfectly. And yet, every single request is failing. What critical piece of information on the envelope, on the outside, could possibly be missing?
And there it is, the culprit, a missing content type header. It's so simple when you see it. The sender was sending a perfectly good JSON letter, but they totally forgot to write, by the way, this is a JSON letter on the envelope. So the server gets the message, has absolutely no idea how to read it, and just throws it in the trash. Result? Another failed request.
So, how do we fix this thing? Well, in Postman, it's actually a super simple 5-step process. First, we set our method to post. Then we add our two crucial headers, that's content type and authorization. Third, we paste in our JSON body. Step 4, we add a quick little test just to confirm we got a successful response. And finally, we click send. And the result? Boom, a successful connection, case closed.
You know, every good detective lives by a code. And after solving countless cases just like this Vault API mystery, Detective Postman has developed his own set of golden rules. These are designed to make sure your API investigations always go smoothly.
So, let's break down these key takeaways. Rule number 1, headers first. Always, always check your content type and authorization. Rule 2, body follows. Make sure your body format is the right one for the job. 3, test everything. Don't just trust it works, verify it. Write some tests. 4, organize. Use collections just like their case files to keep all your work tidy. And finally, number 5, automate. Use environments and variables to make your whole workflow way more efficient. And this whole case really shows why a tool like Postman is so essential. It's not just one thing, right? It's your detective when you're investigating how an API works. It's your messenger when you're sending the requests. It's your scientist for testing the responses. And it's your librarian for keeping everything neatly organized. When you really get down to it, working with APIs is all about solving these little mysteries of communication and having the right tools, the right framework, really understanding your envelopes and your letters. That just makes all the difference. Postman, it's like it gives you the magnifying glass, the forensics kit, and the file cabinet all rolled into one to solve the grand mystery of web communication, one request at a time.